There are turning points in history which mark the progress of a nation democratically, economically, and culturally. The year of 1890 marked such a turning point in America's history. The American West was changing. No longer could the boundary between the untamed wilderness and cultured society be recognized. For the Lakota Native American population, the radical transformation of their way of life caused them to drastically reinvent themselves to maintain some portion of their life and culture. The ghost dance opened an avenue for this purpose. Wovoka, a powerful medicine man, had a vision entailing the resurrection of the Paiute dead and the removal of whites and their works from North America. He taught that in order to bring this vision to pass, the Native Americans must live righteously and perform a traditional round dance known as the ghost dance in a series of 5-day gatherings. Wovoka's teaching spread quickly among many Native American peoples, notably the Lakota. The ghost dance movement caused Indian agents, soldiers, and other federal officials a great deal of consternation and helped to predispose them towards a cautious, wary, and defensive posture when dealing with the Sioux. Important to note is that Wovoka's preachings included messages of nonviolence. General Nelson A. Miles played a leading role in nearly all of the Army's campaigns against the American Indian tribes of the Great Plains, but pressure from Washington forced Miles to send Major Samuel M. Whiteside and Colonel James Forsyth to the reservation. The Wounded Knee Massacre occurred on December 29, 1890, near Wounded Knee Creek on the Lakota Pine Ridge Reservation in South Dakota. The day before the massacre, a detachment of the U.S. 7th Cavalry Regiment, commanded by Major Whiteside, intercepted Bigfoot's band of Lakota near Porcupine Butte and escorted them 5 miles westward to Wounded Knee Creek, where they made camp. The rest of the 7th Cavalry Regiment arrived, led by Colonel Forsyth, and surrounded the encampment, supported by 4 Hotchkiss guns. On the morning of December 29, the troops went into the camp to disarm the Lakota. One version of events claims that during the process of disarming the Lakota, a deaf tribesman named Black Coyote was reluctant to give up his rifle, claiming he had paid a lot for it. A scuffle over Black Coyote's rifle escalated and a shot was fired, which resulted in the 7th Cavalry opening fire indiscriminately from all sides, killing men, women, and children, as well as some of their own fellow troops. The fighting was quickly suppressed, but the fleeing Lakota were pursued for the next 3 miles. Many of those who were killed were unarmed. A blizzard swept over the countryside the night of December 29, and when it cleared days later, the valley was strewn with frozen, contorted dead bodies. The bodies of the slain were thrown into a single burial pit. It was reported that 4 infants were found still alive, wrapped in their deceased mother's shawls. John C. Grable wasn't at the massacre, but he came shortly after and was able to take pictures of what was left. Corporal Paul Weinert sits behind the gun used during the battle. His actions at Wounded Knee, as well as 19 of the other soldiers, won him a Medal of Honor. The photograph, entitled Famous Battery E of 1st Artillery, proudly displays front and center one of the 4 Hotchkiss guns used in the massacre. Today, the Pine Ridge Reservation is polluted with unemployment, alcoholism, poverty, violence, and fetal alcohol syndrome. Visitation and tourism to the site is still disputed and unresolved. A memorial was started in 1986 in remembrance of the Indians' deaths, as well as a commemorative ride once a year that follows the flight of Bigfoot's band.